help, all of my new chisels have these weird little hoops on them, and they're loose. It must be defective or just cheap, right? Poor quality control. That must be it. And I bought them cheap, so that must be it, right? They're cheap, so they're cheaply made, and that's not supposed to do that. Wrong. They're supposed to do that, even if they're you pay a lot of money for them. Traditionally, chisels had these hoops, and the reason was because carpenters back in the day hit them with metal hammers. Even the Finnish carpenters, even the joiners, right? My favorite hammer is this little Japanese style Genno hammer. I put a handle on it, and then I put one of those chair end caps on, so that I can use it like a rubber mallet for like a dead blow almost, or I can use it for anything else. And that's pretty much all I need is this hammer. If you do have a mallet, this is a dog's head mallet that I made years ago. You can, of course, still hit it with that, but it's not necessary. But instead of carrying or walking around with two smacky devices, a mallet and a hammer, smacky device. I think I'm going to trademark that. You need one smacky device. Only need one smacky device. All right. What you're supposed to do when you first get your chisels is you take a old soup can or whatever, put some hot water in it, stick that in there, up to about like right there. For an hour, couple hours, take it out, take a metal hammer, and you're going to deform the edge. Okay, you're going to hit it harder than that, obviously. Here's an old one. You can see how this is actually just naturally deformed from smacking it. But if you do the hot water trick, it'll deform more evenly, and it's just better. If you want to transform these into a more modern style chisel, you can take a thin curved saw, cut this off, so that's like that. And then it's just like all of the other chisels that you're going to see, the high-end chisels, which are used more for paring. No one's chopping mortises anymore these days. You're using a router or a drill press, and then you're using the chisel to clean up the edge. Back in the day, you would use these for mortises. Most of the cheap chisels that you get nowadays are going to have this little step right there, and you think, oh well, they did that to cut corners, literally. Right? No, again, incorrect. This doesn't mean that they're screwing you over. They're not cutting corners and just trying to pull one over on you. This back in the day, if it was all the way rectangular, it would be called a firmer chisel, and it was used quite a bit. The only time you need this bevel edge all the way to the edge is when you're doing dovetails. So you'd have a set of dovetail chisels, and you'd have a set of bench chisels, usually the firmer chisels that were rectangular. And those were used 90% of the time. You're not doing dovetails all day long. You were back in the day, you were chiseling, right? And you needed a firm chisel. You needed a strong chisel. Same thing, just like this, if you want to take this off, make it modern, you can cut that off with a thin curved saw, make it modern. If you only do dovetails and you want those bevel edge, like those expensively Nielsen ones, you can use a grinding stone, you can use a file, you can use a belt sander, whatever, and then bring that down. You do that yourself. You customize them. These are designed to be customized by the end user. If you're doing a lot of mortises, then you're probably going to leave that edge there. If you're doing a lot of paring, probably going to leave that edge there. Only if you're doing a lot of dovetails will you put that bevel here and chop this off, because you're going to be doing a lot of paring, or you're going to be smacking it with a mallet, not a hammer. But if you really need to smack the hell out of it, you're going to need a hammer anyways. So there you go. I've been first time I had a chisel in my hand was in the 70s. I've been using these for decades. All right. Back then, this is all you had. That's all I remember, at least. If you're you're an old school old timer like me and you remember the modern ones, let me know in the comments, let everyone else know. The reason I put these videos out is basically to share my experience. Everyone's got different experience. This is my experience. So hope that helps somebody out there. If anybody else has anything to add in the comments, please help us all out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.